Hi everyone, this is Laura and welcome to my channel. Tonight I have a project share and tutorial for you guys. I am going to be showing you how I make my forget-me-not flowers. Now the forget-me-not flower set dies are one of our flower set dies that was just released a few weeks ago. So yeah, this video is a little overdue. Let me share with you what they look like. These are the forget-me-not flowers. They look like little pinwheels to me, sort of. They have a 6 little point flower. I did look up the flowers over on Google, and traditionally these flowers are very dark blue with a yellow center. They also seem to have some white creases within the petals that make them look like little stars to me. Um, I will share a card that I made using these wonderful, beautiful flowers that I love now. I'm not going to lie, I was a little intimidated because when I received my dies, there are no tutorials for them, and I wanted to. I always try to do tutorials on all the flower dies that we get, only because I think one of the things that I'm most fond of with Diemond Dies are their flower dies. I've been saying, if you've been watching my channel for a while now, I've been saying this for the longest time. If you purchase nothing else, give those flower die sets a try, because I can honestly, wholeheartedly tell you that since I have had the blessing of having some of these flower set dies, I do not buy flowers anymore. Um, my sign is a perfect example. These are just some roses that I made with some of the dies that Diemond Dies carries. So yeah, I don't even buy flowers anymore. I make all my flowers, paper flowers now. And I just make paper flowers. I haven't even started playing with all kinds of other materials, such as vellum, burlap, felt. A lot of the other DT girls have. So you want to go on over and check their channels. And I know Janice and Leonie more. I think Janice did them. I'm not sure if Leonie has done them yet, but Janice also did some tutorials on the latest flower dies that were released. So just going over, check all the other DT members. They all have some amazing tutorials as well, and amazing ideas. And if they don't have a tutorial, I'm sure they've used the die and incorporated it in their projects in other ways, and you can gain some inspiration from that as well. Also, don't forget we have our Diemond Dies Facebook page where you can go um, and see some of the, well, all the design team members, what they are making for additional inspiration towards the other die sets. Now, I'm going to talk while I work, only because I have lots to do here. Uh, if you have not seen what they look like, these are the Diemond Dies Forget-Me-Not flowers. There is a small, medium, and large. Um, it is a set of 3. For the making of my flowers for my project, what I used was some flower soft glue. Now, if you don't have flower soft glue, you can use Eileen's Techie Glue. It works just as well. It's probably the same thing, and we don't even know it. Actually, my sister did tell me it's the same thing, which is why I picked up the Eileen's. I'm also going to use some flower soft and lemon. I'm going to use some stamens, and these are the ones that look like they have rock candy on them. You're going to need some styluses. I am using my McGill styluses from the Bloom set. I love it. And you're also going to need a foam mat as well. Mine is also from McGill. I also use a dirty brush, which is my ink brush, for additional shading. I also used a white gel pen, and I used my Signo Uniball and I love this gel white pen. It is my favorite one that I've ever had. I am also going to use, or you will need, a paper piecer to make the flowers the way I made them. Now, I'm also going to share an alternative method. I know there are a lot of yous out there that would love to make these flowers. They see me making them with the Flower Soft and the sprays, and they're like, oh, I can't make those. I can't get them because I don't have Flower Soft or sprays. I have also made them using flat back pearls for the centers. You can also use some bling if you have some bling in the stash. I did look up the flowers, and because realistically they have yellow centers and they're a dark blue flower, I chose to use my yellow flat back pearls for their centers. But like I said, guys, you can make these flowers whichever way you want. This is just the way I made them, only to give them a realistic appearance. I have made them in other colors using other things. I do them single layered like the dogwood because that's what I saw on Google. But you can do them a lot differently. You don't have to do them the way I do them, basically. So what I did first was I cut out a whole bunch of these guys, and you know, while I was sitting down watching TV or watching videos, I cut them out in different colors of scrap pieces of blue cardstock that I had in my stash, and I also cut it out in cream as well as white cardstock. Then I inked them up. Once I cut them out, I inked them all up with my broken china and my faded jeans. And this is what they look like inked up. Now, the darker flowers, of course, are some of the ones that I used that were either white or cream colored cardstock. And then the darker ones are the ones that were probably out of blue cardstock. I do try to do both sides. I didn't do that with all of them. Like, for instance, this one right here, as you can see, I forgot that side. But I do try to do that with most of them. I do try to ink both sides. Only because the petals will curl up, and I don't want a white side and then a blue side. If I didn't color them, usually it's because the cardstock was blue. And more than likely, I just plain forgot. Because I do try to color both sides. So let's get started. I'm going to just put a few different petals here to work with so that you guys can see how I construct these. Okay, so once you cut out your little petals and you colored them in whatever color you want. Oh, by the way, guys, you can also use whatever sprays you want. You can mist these, which what I'm about to do right now. After I color them, I do mist them very finely, not too much. You can mist these. You can use your inks. You can use whatever you want to color these. Embossing powders, chalk inks, sprays, whatever you have at your disposal. It's totally up to you. Now these are all damp. Now what I am going to do before I start shaping my flowers is I looked at the picture, the images of what little forget-me-not flowers look like. For some reason, they have these little lines in the petals that just go straight into the center, and that's, I think, what makes them look like little stars and pinwheels. And so I am going to just put those lines in. And I'm just going to do a few here for you guys. I want to remind you guys that Diemond Dies is still carrying on with their monthly Make It with Diemond Dies giveaway. And to enter that giveaway, all you have to do is create anything you want. You don't have to mail it in. You don't have to send it. You create whatever you want. And all you have to do is make sure that you use one Diemond Die to create your project and that it's a new project. you take a picture of that project, post it on the Diemond Dies Facebook page, or you make a video and just message the Diemond Dies YouTube channel that you made the video, link up your video, and for every project that you make, that will place an entry for you, and at the end of the month, she will draw a name, and that person will win a $10 gift certificate towards the Diemond Dies store. So awesome, awesome, awesomeness. I drew the little white lines in all my flowers. Now, as you can see, they're crooked. I don't care that they're crooked because I more than likely am going to cover them up with my flower soft and my my sprays. However, if you're going to do it with flat back pearls or bling, I would be a little bit more closer like these two, and I would be a little bit straighter. So these two, I'm going to put flat back pearls in them. These two, I'm not, because they're a little bit more crooked. So I'm going to use the flower soft. And I did not see how crooked this one. Oh, this is bad. I'm going to fix that. This is really bad. This should have been like this. Oh, my. Well, hopefully that won't show too much. Nah, I better get another one. That's bad. That was pretty bad. I can fix that one, but not right now, because right now I am trying to do a tutorial. Okay, this a lot better. Okay. That one's bad, but that one was just horrible. I have to fix that one. And I can just flip it on over to the other side and do it on the other side. Yay! Okay, so I just wanted to dampen this one a bit since it is new. Ah, sugar. I should have waited till it dried. Okay, let's try that again. Loopy. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to shape them. And for that, I am going to use my 6mm stylus. I want a nice big round one. Yes. And I'm just going to basically just work little fibers in the petals in a circular motion. And most of the times I flip my flowers over and then give it that little balloon bubble effect. Not with this flower. With this flower, I wanted the petals to curl and go towards the center, but I want them to stay like so, flat, like this. And I'm just going to work these petals and the center. And I'm going to do that for the big one as well. I like to pay special attention to the tip of the flower. And I just work all of the petals. Now you're going to get your dirty brush, or rather I'm going to get my dirty brush. And then what I do is I go into the darkest blue color, which is my faded jeans, and I just pick up some ink by rubbing my brush onto it. And when it's nice and loaded, I just tap the center of my flower. Let me see if I can share that with you. See how that looks in there? And I just rub it around, just like that. And I'm going to do that to all the flowers. And that just gives it a very realistic look, because I looked up these flowers. I try to get as many images and pictures as possible. And that's exactly what they look like. They have like that really dark blue center. And then they have that yellow stuff all inside of them, which I don't know what that is. I guess it's the little stamens or sprays or pollen or whatever, but it's yellow. And there you go. Now they all have that darkened center that I did with my little beat up little brush here. Now you got to get your paper piercer, and I'm gonna poke a hole in these two because these are the ones I'm gonna use with my flower sprays. These I will not, since I am not going to put sprays in these two. These two I wanted to share with you how I do these with flat back pearls for those of you who may not have any sprays or stamens at home. I'm just going to pop out two little, and these are 6mm flat back pearls. I am going to take my flower soft glue because that's the one I have here in front of me. And for the most part, I think this stuff is just the same as Aleene's tacky glue. My sister, when we first purchased the Flower Soft, the glue was so hard to find, and she had told me that she had seen, I think it was on Simon Says Stamp, I'm not even sure, but she has seen one of the channels where the lady was making them, said that this stuff was basically just the same as Aleene's glue, and if you didn't have the Flower Soft glue, you can just use the Aleene's glue and it'll work just fine. So that's what I'm gonna do. I don't know if you can see how the flower turned out here with the little, but that's what it looks like with the flat back pearl instead of the Flower Soft and the sprays. And that's how that one looks. Now, once I use the 6mm for the small and the medium, you can go a lot bigger than 6mm if you want the small center look. You can go 8mm or even 10 for the larger one. For this one, I would definitely try to use an 8 or 10mm. You can also use other different things such as buttons. Look at how pretty this looks with a button center. You can also use another flower. It doesn't have to be those kind of centers. As you can see here, this is one of the little flowers I made with my Diemond Dies mini realistic rose. So you can do a flower center as well, and I think that looks really, really, really pretty. For the sake of the tutorial, I'm just doing some flowers that look realistic to what these flowers are supposed to look like. However, I will be making more of my flowers differently, meaning I'm going to be making them with little buttons, and I'm also going to be making them with other flowers and flat back pearls and bling and all kinds of stuff. So I made the little hole in the center. Now, one second. I swear I cannot see anything. And I'm going to stick my little spray inside. That hole I made a little too large. And there's the little spray. Then I'm going to take my glue. Just put a little ring around that spray. Like so. Then I am going to take my Flower Soft. Now I'm going to move my mat for 1 second. I am going to take my Flower Soft. And I'm just going to sprinkle this all over the center. Push it in. Give it a little help to stick. Shake off the excess. And then share what these gorgeous little flowers look like. Once you do all that, look at how pretty. And it really, really does look so realistic. Now, when this stuff dries off, you can put some glossy accents in the center if you wanted to have more of a stiff, sticky look. But if you wanted to have that nice, soft, textured petal look, you can just leave it as is, just like that. Look at how pretty. I'm going to do one more, the bigger one, to share that with you. And then I'll share my card that I made using these flowers just the way I made them here for you tonight. Here's my little stamen. Some more glue around the sides. And guys, with practice, this gets even better and better, and you can come up with all kinds of new ways to play with these. Find all kinds of new mediums to use. You can put glass beads, tiny little micro beads on the center, which I think I'm going to try for my next card. You can just about put anything in these, honestly. And look at how pretty that looks. Now, I like to go in, because these are made out of that styrofoam, they are kind of stiff. And that's the whole point. It's supposed to be fluffy, but yet stiff. I like to go back with my piercers and just try to shape it a little bit, help it out. Some of them do come out and they fall off. Sometimes the more you work with it, I'll just, because the flower is a little bit bigger, I'll just go back and just add more glue to help it stick. And I like to really round off that center and get off the other pieces that are sticky, and then just put that aside to dry. Look at how pretty! So yep guys, that's how I made my little forget-me-not flowers. Now let me share with you my card real quick, because I am already 20 minutes in. Whew, the time does fly, doesn't it? I was going to try to do a card, another card, but I can't. This video is just way too long. So I'm just going to share with you the card I already did using this method. So here is my card. Isn't she beautiful? Now, I'm not sure that you can see this. This is an A2 size card. And what I did was, for this card, I'm so sorry, guys. My daughter's over here asking me a question while I'm making a video, and you know, they're so funny because they know I'm making a video and they don't want to interrupt, but instead they take a piece of paper with all this writing and then asking me questions as they write. It's too funny. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I was distracted. I apologize. I made an A2 size card, and this card, I don't know if you can see that, but I just made it out of white cardstock. I took one of my embossing folders. It's a Darcy Leaves embossing folder, and I embossed the background. I took my Diemond Dies oval die, and I cut that out in white. And then I fussy cut this little fairy image that I've had in my stash. She's from one of my favorite artists of that draws fairies. Her name is Amy Grant, and you can find her images online as well. And as you can see, I added stickles. Now, funny enough, do you see what the name of this fairy is? I fussy cut her, but her name is Forget-Me-Not, because Amy Grant does name her fairies. And you see the color blue and the dark blue and then the white? Yeah, that's how the flowers, and do you see the flowers? Now, these are the images that were drawn by the artist. See how the dark, and then they have the yellow centers I was telling you about? So that's what I try to make my flowers look like, these images, as much as I could. And this is what I came up with. Now, I did double layer my flowers for this card only for added dimension. But they don't have to be. They can be single. And I created another card with them just with one layer. And I'll share that with you in a video after this one. And then I added some bling to the corners. I added some lace, some ribbon. and my camera is out of focus. I'm so sorry about that. And as you can see, I have several of the forget-me-not flowers. I also have some little yellow pearls that I stuck around sporadically. And these are Martha Stewart little, I don't even know what to call them, the little twigs, the little leaf sprays. Yeah, leaf sprays, that's what they are. And then I also added stickles to the edges of all the forget-me-not flowers. And that's what they look like, guys, when they're all made up. I just love the way this card came out. I love, love, love these flowers. I love the way they came out. I love the Flower Soft treatment and the sprays. And as you can see, they have mucho dimension to them. Lots and lots of dimension here, guys. So I hope you really, really give these beautiful forget-me-not flowers a try. They're not hard at all. And like I said, you can make them any color you want. You can use anything for your flower centers. It does not have to be just the way I made them. And please go on over to the Diemond Dies Facebook page to gather more inspiration for your flower, not only your flower set projects, but any other projects with the Diemond Die dies. And this is the inside of the card. And then I just left this blank white so that I can put a sentiment in it later. And then I added a little ribbon, some lace, and some more flat back pearls and bling. And that is it. I use my corner rounder for the corners on top. And that's how it looks. Thank you all for watching. I hope you like this tutorial and my card. And I hope this inspires you to go on over and get some forget-me-nots for yourself. And if you do purchase this die set, don't forget to use my coupon code. And also, send me a link of that video. I would love to see what you come up with. I really, really would. I hope you all have a blessed weekend. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye for now.